Well, we're here. It is 9 o'clock on Sunday, and we're actually here. This is the first live stream here, and it's Sundays with Sean. Here we are. And it's a beautiful day in the D. Actually, it was a really, really nice sunny day here in Detroit. Hopefully, tomorrow, for those who are wishing and hoping to watch the eclipse. And I think that somebody said that there's a 99.99% chance to see it here tomorrow here in Michigan. Now, I know a lot of people from Michigan. They're going to Ohio to go see the eclipse because Ohio is in the path that the eclipse is going to be taking, and a lot of people are going down to Ohio. I heard that the city of Cleveland is going to have an overwhelming amount of visitors tomorrow on Monday. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. I know for sure the last time that I've seen an eclipse was the time that I was down in Walt Disney World in 2017, and I got a pin for it too, by the way. I got the Walt Disney World they knew it was coming, so they were ready, and they made they did make some pins for the 2017 eclipse, and I have to say that they were ready for it. They were ready for it. So I wonder if they're going to be doing it this year, having an eclipse in Walt Disney World, because I mean, the pins, that is, because if they have the pins, that's once in a lifetime event again, that you'll be able to get pins. I mean, what if somebody's collecting the eclipse pins? Would they have the set, the 2017 and the 2024, 7 years apart? It's interesting. Will we have another eclipse exactly? I haven't checked into this. Will there be another eclipse 7 years from now? I have to figure out when the next one is. And the most interesting thing about this eclipse, this today or tomorrow, is that tomorrow is also the new moon. So the moon is going to be, you won't be able to see the moon. It will be completely dark. That's going to be very interesting. No moon tomorrow night. The stars will be, yeah. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. That means that whatever's in the sky, not the sun, but after that, at night, the galaxy, if you're a galaxy photographer, that's going to be an awesome day for you. I'm just saying. So, yeah. So this is the first live, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know if we're going to keep it at, I was going to be having it at 8, but 8 may be too early, and 9 o'clock may be the sweet time for it all to happen. Just saying. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things that normally I would just make a video about, but hey, we're live, and let's go ahead and talk about them. So, as everybody has been finding out, Disney is going to be investing that's $60 billion. I think that's more money than Dr. Evil would be spending on his lair, and so that's a lot of money, $60 billion. They say 70% of that is going to be going towards park, expansions and improvements in the parks. And I know people have been, there have been a lot of videos about things falling apart in the parks in the last year, talking about dirty boats and It's a Small World, pieces of the Cinderella's castle, the cement falling off of it, talking about just the overall looks, and that some of the buildings, the facades of the Main Street USA needs some work and whatnot, right? Those are probably things that they could fix pretty easily. But an expansion is going to take a ton of money, especially with the rising costs of construction costs. And we know that Disney, when they build something, they're basically working on it almost 24 hours a day, even while you're at the park, probably while you're sleeping in your resort, and in the early morning hours. They're just getting it ready because there's no time to waste. So, and it's not going to be like it was Ventron, where there was a big, because of COVID, there was a ginormous hold on construction for a long period of time, and then they finally finished it. But what I'm saying here is that 60 billion is going to be a lot of money to be spending, and 70% of that is about, I don't know, 80, 10% of 60 is six. So six times eight, $48 billion is going to be spent just on the parks. That's a lot of money. Now, we don't know if that's all going to be going in one. I'm sure that's going to be spread apart on all of the parks, maybe Disneyland, Disney World, all over the place. So they say that it's going to be Florida, but I don't know if I really believe that just yet. I'll believe that when I see it. I'm always a believing guy when I see things, because a lot of people talk about a lot of expansions on here and there, and then all of a sudden it never occurs. So when I see the expansion starting, when I see the bulldozers start to hit Walt Disney World, then we know for a fact, that's going to happen. And I know that Walt Disney World, in case you didn't know it, right? They have to get approvals from the state when they're going to be, uh, demolishing any forests or any land or anything else that they're going to be doing, because they're supposed to be preserving the natural habitats for whatever land is around them. And so they had to get permissions to expand the park. And I'm sure Universal Studios is the same way. But anyways, the let's see here. The expansion behind the park. Now this is the big thing. People have been saying, and there's been these rumors, and I know Mousetrap News, which is one of those satire gotcha kind of websites. They about a year ago, they were talking about the the mine the mine train, the Snow White and the dwarves mine train ride. Um, the They thought they were making a joke that would be Encanto, the new Encanto ride. Now, people are talking about making an Encanto land, and an Encanto land would be something that they would see, basically, that would be happening. And people are talking about maybe that's going to be going in the back of Thunder Mountain. We'll have to see. We don't know what it's going to be about or what it is, but we just know that that's the targeted area. And will big Thunder Mountain, will that become a new ride? We've already changed Splash Mountain to become Tina's Bayou. And now, is it possible that we could make, you know, the big Thunder Mountain into something like Encanto, and make it into a train ride there and change the theming of it? I don't know. That's something that I was thinking about the other day, about whether that something like that would happen. And also Frontierland. People are already talking about, there's articles that I'm reading about Frontierland being changed into a New Orleans corridor, which we already have the one resort, right? That it looks like the French Quarter, and why not? Then you could have the French Quarter in Frontierland. And the thing about Frontierland is they've already changed some things in Frontierland. For instance, they took off to be more politically correct and be more sensitive to different people's cultures. They've already removed some of in the entrance of Frontierland. We've already removed some of the tiki people and the masks and the spears and stuff like that. And so maybe we need to maybe we should rethink what's happening with Frontierland, and maybe it will be changed altogether. We don't know that, but you never know what's going to happen in Walt Disney World. Now, I am happy that the country bears are staying. That's a thing. They're changing. They're updating. The animatronics are going to probably look spectacular and way up to date. I don't know when the return is. I know I would hope that they return by the end of 2024. Especially that would be a really great gift. Um, Tino's Bayou is going to be coming out pretty soon. I think they said something about June. That's gonna be really great. And, yeah, so it's gonna be really interesting. That whole side of of the Magic Kingdom is just gonna be taking off. And just, I think it's gonna be 14 acres, they said. That's gonna be the same size as Galaxy's Edge. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a really great improvement. It will also allow more space for more people to be at, and that means that the crowds may go down if they managing it correctly. But it could also be they could have more people in the parks. Do I expect that ticket prices will go up? I think what's going to happen, and this is just my own predictions. I think ticket prices are going to go up, but they're eventually, once they start making enough money, they're going to go down. I think you cannot continue to have prices go up and up and up and up and up they're like $140 right now for some days. And I think you're going to have to eventually bring this back down so people can afford to go to the park. So I think some of these things, these investments, I don't know how Disney, after all those losses for all those years for COVID, how did they actually gain that much money to make a $60 billion investment in the at Walt Disney World? That's an interesting topic on its own. To say that also on top of that, 30% of the $60 billion, right? 60% is going to be 30% is going to be going towards, I also believe, the cruise line. And we know that Disney, since has been basically pumping out cruise ships. Now cruise ships are back in full strength, right? People are going on cruise ships everywhere. Disney has the Wish, and they have some other cruise ships that they've just had, that were just, this is within the first couple of years that they've been going out now. And I have to say that Disney and cruising is at a full steam ahead. It's really popular, and they're making more cruise ships to add to the fleet. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if they even try to expand where their destinations go to. They already have 2 islands right now. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to buy another one. So with that said, with the cruise lines going really strong, the parks are gonna be improved. Another thing that that's 2 parts that Disney has on their plate. And the other third thing is, what are they going to be doing with Disney Plus? Now, they kept on saying Disney Plus, it's in the red, it's in the red, it's at the red. And I thought, for instance, they were just going to say, forget it, right? we're not gonna continue to go on this dive with Disney Plus because it wasn't making any money. But then, I had these thoughts. I made several videos in the past about what would or would not happen with Disney Plus and what they could do to improve things. And I thought that if they combined all of their video streaming online on demand content into one streaming app, that they would be great. So I seen the beginning of it. Hulu was combined with Disney. They bought out all the rest of the controlling stock, so they completely own Hulu, and the controlling stock of it. And then basically they combined Hulu with Disney Plus, and then they have ESPN. ESPN Plus, I'm almost for certain, is only an online, like web, on the interwebs, right? On the internet. They do not have, they're like a streaming app per se. Now, I do know ESPN does have an app on. I don't know how complex it is or how good it is. I think they do have one already, but they're going to redo the Reimagineer. You know, that's what they do for everything, is they're going to redesign and re-engineer the application, have a standalone application for ESPN Plus, and then they're going to put more sports content in it. Now, I don't know how that's going to work out, because also Disney has been trying to make another off, like another third application that would be a collaboration with Fox Sports and ABC Sports and all that other stuff, and have it combined in one app, right? Where you could get all your sports content at, right? And so who's to know what's going to happen in the future? I mean, if you have that app going strong, why would you have ESPN be all on its own? So I think if I was Disney, I would wait and see what happens with this collaboration with the other sports venues. And then also, here's another thing that Disney could do. Disney can actually go out, and they could actually go out and check out buying up regional sports teams, not regional sports teams, regional sports uh, networks like Bally Sports, who is really, that's how the regional sports got there. The like Bally Sports, they were because of Disney. They were When Disney bought ABC, they had to break off showing the local sports, and they kind of FCC told them to do that, and now those regional sports networks cannot. They're having a hard time, paying the bills, and they're going into bankruptcy, and they need some more help. So why not, right? Why not go ahead and go, if the FCC will allow them to go back, purchase them all back up, build something, a big giant sports network, and I think that would be pretty awesome. Even though for sports entities like the NBA, the Major League Baseball, NFL, all of those, the problem with that is going to be with those entities that the sports entities of this, the sports themselves. For them, they make money showing the sports to other people, and then they would not be able to have a competitive situation where there would be different venues like YouTube Live, or Amazon Prime, or or whatever network would be able to compete with each other to give those sports the best buck they can to show those events. And so that would kind of take away from that. So I don't know. I'm It's kind of gonna be a thing. It would sound it's very convenient to know that the sports would be getting combined into one, but at the same time, it would not be probably the greatest thing for sports as it is, if they want to have different competitive stuff on different channels. That's what I'm saying, and that's why I think the FCC probably will not allow this all to happen. Just my thought. Now, the other thing is that I read, and I'm gonna finish with this article that I read the other day that I thought was very interesting, from Inside the Magic, who is basically they are very great at grabbing your headlines with these clickbait articles. But this was an article that I thought was very interesting, and that was that it was talking about Hollywood studios no longer being Hollywoody or Hollywoodish, per se, and meaning that Hollywood studios, when it first started out, a long time ago, they removed the the back lot studio tour, and where you would go, and you'd go on this, you'd go on the trolley car, I think, and you would go around, or you go on the bus, and you go around, and you'd go through there, and then they'd have like the couple scenes of the tanker blowing up, and it would come down, and they would have, and there was the backlot restaurant, like the quick service was at the end of that, remember? And you could go through the store, you go there, but you could also see where they made the clothes for them, and they have, they had the New York City, skyline kind of thing on down one street. It was really kind of cool, to be there. And then they replaced that, That's where Galaxy's Edge went. Okay, now sure, Disney is going to replacing some of these places in Hollywood studios with new up and coming places. Like maybe they might put Marvel back there now, or they once they get it all done and together. Maybe they'll expand it to maybe who knows what will be back there. But the thing is that people want to people sometimes you might think of, well, it's losing its Hollywood touch, because if you go and you get into Hollywood studios, right, you look down there, like the Chinese theater is no longer the Great Movie Ride, it's Mickey's and Minnie's Runaway Railway, right? And but can we make sure that we keep the Chinese theater, which is in Los Angeles, Hollywood, Los Angeles, and we keep that and we keep that as something when you look down there. Why not bring back the Phantasmic hat? That was something that was there for a while. That was an iconic thing. Um, why don't we put that in the lake, right along with the dinosaur next to Primetime 50s? 50s Primetime Cafe. That would be. I think that lake has a name. Maybe it does not. It's like a man-made pond or whatever. But, I'm just thinking of some ideas. They could make it more Hollywoodish. It would be really great if I don't know if they have room to expand Hollywood studios, but if they did, again, they could really do a bang up job and maybe bring back another backlot studio kind of thing. They would have to create it, but they could film things for real back there. Who knows? But it would be a really great, interesting thing. And I think that article really about losing the sense of Hollywood in the Hollywood studios is really, I think, a concern, because I think when you go there, like when you go to Universal Studios, right, and they have places in Universal Studios that look like a studio, sometimes it looks like a studio, plot. That's something that they have there that you're like, oh yeah. And so I think that it's possible that Disney is losing that kind of uniqueness by just swapping out rides and making different, making more attractions, but them not being like something like would be behind the scenes or something like that, for instance. And so maybe they can improve on, the Raiders of the Lost Ark and all that other stuff. But anyways, we'll have to see what all happens. So those are a couple things that I was thinking about in the last couple days, some topics and uh, some some really great articles that have come out and talking about some of the things that are happening that people are concerned about, that it might be happening in the future with the changes of the parks and the $60 billion and whatnot. Now, I do know there's another couple of few things that have been going on. For instance, one of the restaurants now, and I'm going to tell you, I don't think this is as controversial as some people are making it out to be, at least for me. So some 1900 Park Fair, which was it's at the Grand Floridian. If you ever ate there, and I have too, before it was like I I do think it was a buffet, but I think they did offer you could eat all you could eat where they would serve you the dishes, or they would cook things that aren't on the buffet. Maybe that's what I meant also, but they would bring that to you. But needless to say, the food at 1900 Park Fair was superb. It was very well. Since you're at the Grand Floridian, they used to have Cinderella, and I think they had Prince Charming and like the royal kind. It felt like it was the royal thing, but it had the I think the mean stepsisters there, if I'm not mistaken. And they've kind of really changed up the characters that are there now. So they have I think um uh who else? They have different, I don't know who they all are, but they do have new characters that are going to be there. And the cast of characters are more that are there now are more of a diverse group of characters. And I think that that is fine with me. I don't really doesn't matter to me. I think it gives those people that are eating at somewhere a chance to be with characters that they may be more relatable to, or that they really do like. And I think, and that they're new, up and coming characters from movies that are more up to date. They may not be, the supposed staples of Disney characters, but I think they're ones that are new and up and coming, that are new, and everybody likes them. And I think they're the ones that kids are really excited about. I think some people are excited about the old characters, the old, I think if you want to see Cinderella, this is how I'm gonna say it. If you want to see Cinderella and the rest of the old school, right? Um, some of the old school princesses, I think that if you should eat at Cinderella's castle, or you should, I think that some of the other places could really, do well if they changed up some of the characters too. Now, I'm just saying that because I think that's a really true thing. Anyways, anyways, so I want to appreciate, first of all, before we tie this all up in a bundle, in a bow, um, I want to say thank you for showing up for this live stream. If you did not make it to the live stream, and you're watching the stream all over again, and we're keeping it to about 30 minutes now to 45 minutes. If you are here, we really appreciate that. If you can go ahead and mash that like button, if you can go ahead and become a subscriber for free just by mashing the subscribe button, we really appreciate all the support. And always, if you hit the notification bell, you can know when we go live. Um, and then also that when we put up a brand new video. Yeah, that's right. And it's completely 100% for free, and you get to help us out grow the channel and whatnot. And our goal is to grow the channel bigger and better. So, anyways, um, yeah, the news is happening all the time in Disney World. I try to keep up with it. I have different ways of keeping up with it, and we do have a Twitter account also, and you can check that out. You can follow us over there. But yeah, it's been a great day here in the D, and tomorrow's the eclipse. So don't panic. Everything's going to be okay. That's right. And I'm sure somebody will be at the parks live that you can watch what's going on live during the eclipse at Walt Disney World. And I hope that you guys have a great coming up week. With that said, you guys know what time it is. It's that time. Over and out.